Thank you, Madam Chair. Secretary Mondo, thank you for being here today. I've been working with members of this committee on both sides of the aisle to develop a light touch framework for oversight of artificial intelligence, and as I'm sure you are aware, AI is a major focus for the Senate. In your written testimony, you indicated that the CHIPS and Science Act will help enable us to be the global leader in emerging technologies, and you specifically referenced the new National Semiconductor Technology Center. I'm focused on ensuring that the Senate puts the necessary guardrails in place while also ensuring that any legislation encourages and not stifles innovation in AI. So could you explain in more detail how the National Semiconductor Technology Center and the CHIPS and Science Act more broadly is encouraging innovation in artificial intelligence?
Thank you. I agree with you strongly. The United States has a competitive edge in the world right now. We are leading the world in AI, and we need to preserve that lead and extend that lead. And so we have to preserve our competitive edge. Having said that, we have to balance the opportunity with guardrails that make sure that we protect ourselves from the downsides. So NIST, part of the Department of Commerce, has put out a risk management framework, which is voluntary, to developers for safeguards they should use as they develop new AI algorithms, similar to the voluntary commitments that the President and the administration have extracted from the biggest AI developers. With respect to the NSTC, that will be research and development. So whether it's new materials, new ways to develop, new semiconductor chips, right? All AI is going to be powered by AI chips, where again, we lead the world. I think the NSTC will have collaborations with universities and companies to lead the next wave of research and development and startups so we continue to maintain our AI lead.
Thanks. This administration continues to push for public utility-style regulations on the internet. USDA has tried to insert so-called net neutrality rules in its Reconnect program. NTIA has thrown in a number of extraneous requirements in the BEAD program. And just last week, the FCC announced that it will be reinstating the Obama-era Title II regulations on the internet. Don't ask me why you would want to regulate the internet as a Depression-era monopoly, but they seem to be headed back down that road. With respect to the BEAD program, I find it troubling that the administration would put over $40 billion in broadband funding at risk just to accomplish a campaign talking point. And what I would argue is that instead we should be establishing efficient BEAD rules that incentivize the participation of companies that have spent years building out reliable networks to some of the most remote parts of the country. Will you commit to not require states to include specific price points for broadband offerings in their BEAD plans? Yes or no?
Yes, we do not require that. I want to be clear. We are not rate regulating, we are not price setting, and we are not requiring states to do that. Furthermore, we want all providers, large and small, to participate in the program. The way we're doing is every state, your governor would create a plan that they think could meet the needs of your state, and then our job would be to evaluate that before we fund the plan.
All right, so you would commit that NTIA will give states discretion how to implement
Yes.
the low-cost and middle-class affordability requirements. In 2022, I introduced the Quantum Network Infrastructure and Workforce Development Act with Senator Hassan, which was ultimately enacted as part of the CHIPS and Science Act. And among other things, the bill asks to build on the expertise of NIST to improve existing research on quantum networking and encryption. These applications have the potential to greatly enhance network security and protect privacy while bolstering U.S. leadership and competitiveness in the development of these technologies. Could you describe how the department has worked to promote U.S. competitiveness and innovation in the development and standardization of quantum technologies, including through the implementation of this bill?
I'd be happy to, and I will follow up with Dr. Locascio, who runs NIST, but I can tell you that quantum, AI, and chips are areas where we are exceedingly focused to develop standards and to focus our investments.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.